Hello, welcome to KTVG Studio. And today we are going to be discussing colors, the impact of colors, how it might be used. Sorry, I literally started talking and was like, oh, Katie and I had just been talking about yoga. And I'm like, oh, I need some breath. You need some breath to speak.
Yep, breathe.
But but it was more like I felt like I was about to burp. And I was like, I really don't want to burp on camera. So thus my stopping. Yes. So we are discussing color. And it's myriad uses, myriad uses. I always say myriad, but it's myriad.
Well, it
Um,
is spelled that way, so it
it
makes sense.
is,
Yeah.
it is. But yes, I'm pretty sure I got corrected at one point, and so I
Oh,
autocorrect now. And I am wearing my chakra colors necklace,
which we will get into.
which we will get into. Um, and I'm going to preface this by just saying that like color is used. I mean, we see it every day. For the most
Mhm.
part, it surrounds us. It's part of what we put on our bodies. And one of the things is when I first started looking at, okay, how are we using color? Some of the first stuff that popped up, because I was asking more recent, um, was how it gets used in marketing, how it's
Mhm.
used in education. It's also used in all sorts of design aspects. Um, and it's definitely been used in mental health. So these are just some, we're not necessarily going to go into all of those, but just touching on the fact that color isn't just, hey, my favorite color is this. Um,
Mhm.
that's, like my favorite color is periwinkle. Okay, that's nice. I love all those little things on social media where it's like, what does your favorite color mean?
Mhm.
One of my favorite ones recently was this young woman, young to me. She was like, let me just tell you, if somebody's favorite color is purple, you don't have to ask them. You don't have to ask them what their favorite color is. You will see it. You will hear it. You will
Yeah.
know that they have purple as one of their favorite colors, if not the favorite color. And I just thought that was so appropriate. And she's like, I should know. My mother's favorite color is purple. So she was just, it was one of those
Mhm.
fun things. So we're looking to go a little beyond, hey, what's your favorite color? But have some fun just talking about colors.
Yep. Okay. So, I have a couple studies, but I thought it would be fun to look at the historical
Oh,
approach, a bit of history around chromotherapy. So, that is the use of color in healing. It's the idea that color emits a particular frequency, and applying that frequency will help with healing. So, and then after that, I'm going to talk a little about color psychology. So, based on a study, and then it'll be like fun. A red means this, and an orange means that kind of thing. Um, but the history is obviously the most interesting part of it. So, there
says
is,
a historian from a family of
yes.
historians.
Yes. Yes. So not biased.
Not at all.
Um, so there was a very good article. It was by Azimi and Razat in 2005, and it's kind of like provides a nice little background on chromotherapy. And it's been used since ancient Egyptian times, all the way through the Greeks and all the way up to now. So I didn't realize that. I mean, I don't know much about chromotherapy, but there is it's called the Ebers Papyrus from around 1550 BC, and it actually lists a number of cures, and some of them are color cures. So I didn't delve too much into it, but this was the first documented uh, evidence of chromotherapy, evidently. Um, Then also ancient Greece, they also were.
Did it tell you what, like, an example of what any of those
I
color
did not
pairs?
delve into that specifically, so because I kind of read onward, I have kind of an interesting fellow that I'm going to talk about. He's a Persian guy, um, but uh, feel free to everyone to look into the Ebers, Ebers papyrus. Now, there is a very interesting fellow that probably many people know. His Western name is Avicenna, but his Persian actual name is Ibn Sina. So he's the basically the father of modern medicine. And he lived around 980 to 1037 AD. So around like the 1000 millennium period. He was Persian and he was a polymath. So he was a physician, he was a philosopher, he was interested in astronomy, alchemy, geography, psychology, theology, mathematics. I mean, one of those did everything.
Da Vinci
And
before Da Vinci.
yes, and he has two famous books. One is called The Book of Healing. It's a philosophical and scientific encyclopedia. And he also wrote The Canon of Medicine. It's a medical encyclopedia, and it became the standard medical text in Europe, in European universities as late as 1650. And so he is the father of modern medicine. So he believed in chromotherapy. So he also developed a chart, a color chart. Um, And so he believed, so for instance, that red, the color red, would move blood, and blue or white would cool it, and yellow would reduce muscular pain and inflammation. So here's an example of applying his this chromotherapy. So someone has a nosebleed, okay, so they're bleeding. What you should not do is have this person look at anything red because that's just going to promote more blood flow to stimulate the blood. And they should not be exposed to red light for the same reason. Um, but they should be exposed to blue light because that will soothe and reduce the blood flow.
It also makes me think of we end up with a lot of iconographic imagery that
Hmm.
promote some of the way that we have come to understand color. And, I just think about the years and years that, like, the Virgin Mary's, mantle is blue.
Yes,
It's,
yes, that's
it's
true.
often I mean, I'm not saying they don't ever paint her with another one, but
Hmm.
it's most often painted blue. And in, like, the layers of the energy field, the blue light layer is the etheric layer, and it is a layer that holds, like, the memories almost of, but pain and pleasure. And so bringing in that blue can has the aspect of taking you into that space,
Oh,
and
mhm,
it
interesting.
can support you going into that space.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Um, so that's Avicenna. Now, obviously, Ayurveda is quite a bit of color situation going on there because so there's seven, for people that don't know, there's seven chakras, and each has a color attached to it, as you can see on Gigi's necklace. Now we didn't coordinate, so this is completely by accident that this has happened. Um, Now, and then a chakra is located at the site of major endocrine glands, and it corresponds to particular states of consciousness, personality types. Um, so looking at the seven chakras, as you can see, so the root chakra is red. That's so she's yeah. Orange is the sacral chakra. Green is the heart chakra. Blue is the throat chakra. Indigo is the brow chakra. Violet is the crown chakra. And white, do you have white on there? That's
No,
the
it goes
perfect
to
color.
silver.
Is that like the whole being or
I think that there are a number of schools of
mm,
thought on this in that, and there are different layers of the field. So part of what
mm,
it's interesting because if I were to take somebody through the second layer of the field, which is emotions about yourself,
mhm,
the root chakra is like a candy apple red, really bright red. The second chakra, which is that like it's the chakra of art and inspiration and sex and motivation, is orange. It's a really bright, vibrant orange. The third chakra, which I didn't hear you mention, and here it's really murky, like they've done a weird color connection here, is actually a bright lemon yellow. It's a
no,
lemon
I
yellow.
don't have that.
On the second level of the field, again, I'm talking about one particular level of the auric field,
Mm, mhm,
and
mhm,
I'll mention the others, but the heart chakra, which is the central chakra, there are 3 above and 3 below, is green, but it is like it's like the green of Katie's shirt more so. It is the green that you see a lot of when, like, spring is turning to summer in the northern
mm,
hemisphere. It's a really vibrant, alive green. And again, the second level of the field is your emotions about yourself. So when we're talking about that green, that is the love for yourself. The throat chakra on the
mhm.
second level is like a sky blue, often interpreted as turquoise, but
Okay.
the color is meant to be like a sky blue. Um, Indigo, which you
Mhm,
can think of as like your third eye chakra.
mhm,
Um, and the way I normally describe it, because I will sometimes do this when I'm doing an energy healing, I will walk people through the chakras so that you're like spinning them open. Um, is I always think of it as like that moment where like the purple of evening meets the navy of midnight. So you get that
mm,
kind of overlay. That's the indigo, and the stars are really bright. Um,
mm.
and then on the second level of the field, the seventh chakra is actually a white. It's the white of all colors. It is the way that we take in energy and information from what you might think of as either the universe or God. Like it depends on how you describe these things. And I say this because I'm going to give you the third level of the field. You know, like Ibn was that his name?
Mhm. Ibn Sina.
Ibn Sina. So
Mhm.
Ibn Sina talked about the connectivity of like yellow helping with like um, joints and things like that. Well,
Yes.
I thought that was really fascinating because the third level of the field is yellow and it's a mental level, but it's a structured level. So where the second level is, it feels a little bit like clouds. And like each of those colors is like a bright cloud. Um, the third level is lines of light in a very bright yellow. It's not like lemon.
Is it like a netting
It is
almost?
a bit like that, yeah. And but it's hard because I always notice like the way it's wound,
Mhm.
the light is wound, and it's a darker yellow than that yellow of the third chakra on the second level. I don't know that it's quite, for those that remember the number 2 pencil, it's not quite that orangey, but it's more that depth of color is how I see it anyways. Which is where this kind of mixed thing comes a
Mhm.
little more in.
Mhm.
So here it's supposed to be the second chakra of orange. Um, but the fourth level, which is your connection to your ancestors and to like your past lives and your descendants, it's a shamanic level. The You have each of the colors, but they have an overlay. And this level feels a little bit more like unset jello. So instead of the fluffy clouds, there's a little bit more I don't know, substance.
Viscous,
Viscous,
viscous.
viscosity, yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit more viscosity to it. So, the first chakra still has the red, but it's a so they s let me go to the 4th. The 4th chakra on the 4th level of the field, instead of being green, is this beautiful, I think of it as a rose pink, but it's a really bright pink. It's not quite fuchsia, it's not the baby pink, it's a very bright pink. And it's fascinating because that's the pink of that they refer to as the pink of love.
Mhm.
And that color imbues all of the others. So the first chakra becomes a rose pink red. The second chakra is like a salmon pink. And I'm going to be clear about this. It's a Pacific salmon pink as opposed to Atlantic. I find the Atlantic, though they're similar colors, at least to me, it seems a little more anemic in the pinky color range, where when you see like sockeye, wild sockeye caught salmon pink,
Yes, it's a very bright color, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's the color I'm talking about. So that's the second chakra on the 4th level of the field.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes.
Just a minute. In We may be in danger of confusing our listeners because I myself am now confused. So when you're talking about these the chakras are one thing, but then you're talking about the levels.
Yes.
Now I can you describe I'm
Describe that a
confusing
little more.
about levels, yeah.
Okay, so the chakras, like you have the chakras in your physical body, but you also have them on each level of the auric field. And normally, I will say normally for me, I only talk about up to the 7th. There are schools of thought that take auric field out more. I say to be present at this time and in this place, we normally go up to the 7th.
So when you say auric field, that is what is covering our bodies?
It's and the energetic field has actually been measured. You can go to something called heart math, and they talk about the field that your heart puts out and the human energy field that we each have. And in fact, they've even measured like the difference between New Yorkers and people in LA, where New Yorkers, because they're so often close to people, they pull in their field a little bit more. While people who are out on the
Mm.
West Coast, who are used to driving and being in their own space, they tend to have their field out a little bit more. So these are things that we can talk about the studies and stuff that were done on them, but there are studies about it. So it's your energy field that got
But
represented.
layered
Yes,
like a onion layer.
yes, it's like an onion layer, and you have a physical layer. Then you have like that's your physical. So that's not the field. Then you start with a structured layer, which was that blue one I talked about. Then you have an unstructured level. So if you think of it like when they're building walls and they put like the stuff in
Scaffolding?
between. No, like I was thinking about like
Oh,
mortar, the mortar in between.
Okay, yeah,
Where it can
yep.
kinda so the second level is it doesn't even have that structure, it's like clouds, okay? Then you have the 3rd level, which is another structured level. It's a mental level, and then you have the 4th, which again, though it has the viscosity, is not a structured level, and it has the colors. The 5th level is another structured level, though I will describe it another time what that looks like. Um, the 6th is unstructured, and the 7th is structured. And the reason I was going through the colors on the 4th is that I think that sometimes, depending on where people are looking, they see different colors because I described what the colors look like if you get and you separate it out just looking at it on the 2nd level. Now, if we're just looking at it on the 4th level, I already told you that like we had the salmon pink, now we have peach. It's kind of when you combine yellow and pink, you get this kind of peach color. Um, the 4th chakra is the only one that doesn't retain aspects of the 2nd. The 5th becomes violet. So, like, if you're looking at it on the 4th level of the field, the color is violet. If you look at it on the 2nd level of the field, the color is sky blue, often interpreted as turquoise. Indigo becomes purple. So on the 4th level of the field, because you have that pink overlay, it's purple. And I often think about it as purple was that royal color. Well, if you think about it, the 6th chakra is how you think, how you strategize, how you
Mhm.
and on the fourth level, it's how you do that in relation to others. So
Mhm.
purple is the color that is associated with thought process and planning related to other people. And then the seventh chakra, so you know how we were talking about it was white on the second.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful kind of light baby pink on the fourth. I mention this because as you go up, I don't remember all the colors. I'm not going to go through all the colors, but the sixth level, it has a pearl kind of sheen to it. And the sixth chakra becomes like a lavender color, while
Mm.
the seventh is silver. So you know how I said this just goes into silver?
Mhm.
It's like almost like you're looking at different levels. And it might be sometimes when you think of a chakra, you go to that level.
I see what you're saying. So these layers of energy that surrounds every human also affects how you see the chakra color, depending on which layer you're at.
Which layer you're at, and also which layer that person might be imbuing with greater attention or
Oh.
focus. Like it's not necessarily conscious. So, for example, when they drew saints, or whenever you see people and they have this thing of having drawn Jesus, for example, or even the Buddha, they oftentimes draw them with this golden halo. Well, the seventh level of the field is a golden egg shape around your whole body. It is woven. It's
Mhm.
golden thread-like lines of light. Well, somebody who's hit bodhisattva stage can
Mhm.
probably make that beautiful
Manifest itself.
and manifest itself so that it shines bright enough that people can see it.
So here's a weird question. So these different levels, the viscous, the yellow netting, like w- how like how would I know, would I be able to see, I can't, can I see that? I mean, or is it people outside looking, like you as a healer, you would be able to see it, those different levels?
So I think it to me, this is like one of those things, like, there are people who can visually see it. I'm not one of those people. I see it the way like when you're reading a book and you can see it in your head?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the way I see it even as a healer. I do
Mm.
see it, but I'm not seeing it physically outside of my body.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
seeing it on my mind screen. So, I will not take anything away from there are definitely people who, have stated or the reason I say this is Barbara Brennan became a NASA physicist, and what she studied was the light spectrum that we could not see
Ah.
normally with the human eye. The
Yep.
thing was,
Yep.
she could see it.
Oh.
And so, like, she literally measuring the hertz of different colors. But the reason that was such a study that was so appropriate for her is that she had that ability. So I don't have that. And I won't take anything away from somebody else saying they do have it. I don't know. That's why I explain the way I see it, which is like the same way I see when I'm reading a book and I can imagine the scene. Um,
So if I, how do I, would I ever be in a situation where I would go to that yellow netting level woven and then look at my chakras?
well,
Would
the thing
I
about
be in that
on the
position?
you might be, and here's
Would
the
I
thing.
want to?
Yes, let's say so. Kitty and I were discussing that she might consider being a yoga instructor. The yellow level of the field is the mental level. All of the chakras are that yellow color. So it's not going to be a distinction of color on that level. What you would see is you could see the lines be round really tight. So like
Mm,
somebody who's round
like
really
a
tight.
woven tapestry.
Yeah. But like the thread is like, is that going to break? Or are we going to be able to loosen it up and bend it? You can also see where it's unraveling,
Mm.
coming apart. And you can see a thought run across a line like an electrical impulse. To
Oh,
me, it looks like it flashes a little. And for somebody who may be struggling mentally, and I want to make a distinction between mental, emotional, and mental health here. I'm talking about you're trying to put in together a plan, you're trying to get your lists in order, that kind of mental thought process. Being able to think something through is what I'm talking about when I say the word mental in this scenario. Um, Being able to see how maybe a particular breath is helping somebody in the yogic space might be a reason if what they have told you they're struggling with is the mental process of things. That might be why you might go to the third level. I would say people spend more time on the emotional levels just because in our society, we often are forced to spend so much time on the mental and physical level.
yes, yes.
I
What's
don't
the
want
emotional level? Which one was that?
So the second one is emotions about yourself,
Yeah, that's right.
and the fourth one is emotions about others. The sixth one is more like the emotions about the world. It's like people who can hear the sixth level talk about it sounding like what they imagine a heavenly host singing
Mm,
sounds like. People who feel it say it feels like being wrapped in what they imagine angels' wings are, like just being wrapped. Um, for me, I tend to see it a little bit more. It has this like pearl, like everything has this pearlized sheen
mhm,
on it. And so it has a beautiful pearl is my best description. You know, like when you open an oyster and it has all that pearly. Yeah. And it's smooth. It feels smooth. Um, so here's the thing on the second level, if you're working with someone and they have negative emotions about themselves, and we all have had these moments. Like when I'm saying
yeah.
this, it's not like, "Oh, I've never experienced that." No, I have. Um, the chakras or the colors often get murkier. They often, as an energy healer, it will feel heavy. It will feel like a rain cloud. I imagine a rain cloud feeling,
Mm,
as opposed to the lightness otherwise. On the fourth level, which is where I think a lot of us, and I think a lot of yoga instructors connect on the fourth because it's emotions about other people.
this is the viscous.
The viscous one, well, the viscous one gets mucusy in the places where people are upset. I mean, it's literally like, as an energy healer, you're sucking out the mucus.
Okay, thanks for
Sucking out the mucus.
that.
And
That's
the
really
colors,
nice.
yeah, the colors get, you know, those commercials where you have the little mucus running around? The colors get that kind of like brown is a beautiful color, but when your energy for life is getting muddied, that is maybe
Yes,
not what you
yes.
want. That you know, like,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so that's some of what happens on those levels. Um,
Wow.
and
It's a lot.
I'm hitting highlights here. Like, there's a lot more that we could discuss, but I know that we want to get into a little bit more. Like, I
Yeah,
want a little bit more.
very interesting. So we can do a whole different show on that, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, it's okay. This will be fun and maybe related. It might be the same kind of information. So I was going to talk about color psychology. There was a 2025 literature review, and it looked at thousands of this kind of color psychology studies, and it categorized colors with emotions and cognitive behavior. So I'm sure everyone will have an opinion about everything in this thing, but I need to put my glasses on because it's quite small print. So, red.
Ooh, cool glasses. I don't think I've seen your glasses before.
Oh, and these are my reading glasses.
Looking very
Okay.
snazzy.
Yes, very, very like grandma, but I kind of like it. Now, red, you will not be surprised. Passion, excitement, love, energy, power, negative, danger, anger, aggression is exactly what you would associate. Um,
And I associate it's the when we're talking about the chakras, it gets
mm,
associated with the energy of life, like just being alive.
like blood, right?
Yeah, like blood.
Um, so it's about so the key cognitive behavioral effects, examples in design, like you were saying before, design, stimulates appetite, impairs cognitive task performance, enhances attraction, and signals dominance. Maybe the red tie. Men wear red ties.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
red power suit.
Yeah.
Um, I've been thinking about the fact that red is often a color that is used design-wise in, like, restaurants. There's normally some red
To stimulate the
to
appetite,
stimulate
I guess.
appetite. Yeah, but if you also think about, like, red light districts and, like, lounges, like,
Yeah.
there's often a
That's
predominant.
true. Red light district.
Yeah. So, like,
Mating.
I mean, I don't find that restaurants do, like, where they overwhelm you with red, but there's normally red within the
Mhm.
design
Some
of whether
touches
it's
of it,
some
maybe.
touches, whether it's a tablecloth or napkins or
Yeah.
like, menus coming in as like, there's
Yeah.
normally aspects of it. But when you think about, like at least when I think about, like, a lounge, Katie and Nettie love to go and have a drink. There's often times, like, upholstery in, like, a deep red and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Blue. Exactly what you'd think. I mean, this is exactly what you would think they are: calmness, trust, stability, reliability, security, professionalism. Really?
Mm. That's why if you look at brands,
Hmm.
because a lot of color theory gets used in marketing. So, um, think about the number of banks, for example, that have blue in their
Mm,
logos or
mhm,
things like that. It it is often associated with trust. So, but I also think about, like, when I watch old well, not necessarily old, but, like, when they're showing, like, Call the Midwife, their
mhm.
uniforms have, like, a blue aspect to it. Um, there's oftentimes, like, if you think about police officers, they're normally dressed
Oh, yeah, they are
in
in
blue
blue.
uniforms. The
Yeah.
blue is I don't know which I'm thinking this association with trustworthiness was an aspect of why that color became, like, the de facto color.
It's interesting because in the UK, and I don't know why this is the case, so if anyone knows, tell me. The police light on top of their station is always blue. No idea. I've never asked about it, but it's standard and it's from a long time ago, but they still do it.
Yeah.
And I don't
I
know
I
I don't know why
I
it's
don't know
blue.
the answer to that either. But it also harkens to me back to, um, as the Catholic and Apostolic Church was going through and co-opting, um, spaces across the world, they would normally bring in whoever the female deity is under Mary's blue
Mm.
mantle.
Okay, still blue, negative associations, sadness, coldness, aloofness. Fine. So the key cognitive effects: builds trust, just like you said in branding, corporate, financial tech, promotes relaxation, interiors, healthcare, may enhance concentration and productivity. May. Yeah. May. Okay.
Well, I also think about something you and I had read recently where they talked about a study that'd been done on sheet color and where
Yes.
white was found to be the most restful. And what I will say about white in just the color spectrum is, like, black absorbs all the color, white reflects all the color. So if you think about something providing kind of a reflective shield, laying on
Oh,
white
yeah.
provides kind of a
Yeah.
like it's reflecting all the color back out.
Yeah.
And the
Shields up,
shields up,
right?
yeah. And the closest one beyond white that was restful was a pale blue. And you think of
Mm,
the sky gets diffuse into that
mhm.
blue color.
Calming.
It's the next closest to reflecting.
Green. Green. Are you wearing green? What are you
I'm
wearing?
wearing kind of a dark
It's like a
turquoisey
mix.
color. It's like a mix
Oh.
of green and blue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Green. Nature, growth, health, harmony, balance, tranquility, and safety. Negative. Envy. Sickness. Boredom. Inexperience. Oh. Greenhorn. Yeah. Key cognitive effects: calming, reduces stress. That's from your design. Enhances creativity and focus.
Hmm.
I'm wearing green.
I'm just thinking about, because they do are starting or have been doing, using color in education. I need
Like
to go look.
in the like how? Like walls, buildings.
Some of it's in the design of buildings, but some of it's also in the design of, like, workbooks and, like, chairs people sit on and, like, what's the color of the outside of the book, or nowadays, it's even, like, slides and what are the colors,
Oh.
but there's a bit of a split because what they've found most recently is what helps some people is actually
Mm,
detrimental for others, and what helps
mm,
these is detrimental for those. So, like, there isn't necessarily a one size fits everyone sort of thing when it
mm,
comes to the color aspect. What they'd been looking at was, like, um, yellows and browns and stuff sort of bringing aliveness to the mental scape for some people, but then for
mhm.
other people, that's just making them hungry and they can't focus.
I
So
wonder if there's a difference in how the color is digested, um, emotionally and mentally based on if you have like if you're neurodivergent or have, if you, because if you're a little bit interacting with the environment a little bit differently than other people. I mean, everyone does, but particularly, maybe if you have if you're on the autism scale or something, I wonder if the colors are also being digested a little bit differently in their heads. I don't know.
I think it's totally possible.
Mm.
I also think that though there are commonalities, I could
Mm.
definitely see how there might not be a "this is great for everyone."
Yeah. I mean,
You
there can't be a one size fits all for color, right? Can't imagine. Okay,
but
yellow. Oh,
yes.
yes.
I
Okay.
was just gonna say that one of the most recent things was color can directly modulate the brain's reward system. So your aspect about, like,
Mm.
neurodivergent, they often have
Hmm.
different ways that their reward system gets lit up.
There's a different process happening, right? So to me, it would make sense that they would have a different.
So
I don't know why
it
I call it digestion of color, but I'm
well,
sticking
yeah,
with it. I've coined the term.
well, wavelengths feel more intrinsically rewarding for some and can shape perception, motivation, and action.
Digesting color, people.
We're
I'm gonna,
digesting
I'm
color.
gonna, I'm gonna, what do you call it? Patent it. Okay. Yellow. Happiness, optimism, warmth, energy, and creativity. Oh, it sounds very nice. Negative connotations: caution, warning, cowardice, anxiety, frustration, sickness. So here we have the behavioral effects. Highly visible, attention grabbing, like for warnings, highlight, can cause eye fatigue, difficult readability, conveys youth and fun. in branding. So,
When you're
I
talking about, like,
guess.
difficult readability, like, some of the things when you're doing marketing is that, like, when you have a dark background and a light color, you wanna do that for, like, a highlight for, like, a small thing, a short word or phrase, not for massive text.
Mm,
That literally causes fatigue of the eye.
mhm,
Um, and the thing with yellow is it can be one of those highlight colors on a darker background, but again, you're looking at maybe 3 words. You
mm,
don't
yeah.
necessarily want to be reading yellow for a long period of time.
Oh, it's interesting. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
So, but I'm sitting here and I am looking at this poster. It's a yellow background, that on palmography,
Oh, the hand thing.
the hand thing, and I literally had not thought about the fact here. Okay, guys, hopefully you won't get dizzy. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the
It
thinking there?
I'm not sure because those are not the colors that I would ever put together,
No, I'm trying to think.
for eh I mean, it's stimulating,
It's visible. Yeah.
it's visible, it's definitely eye-catching, but I will tell you,
Does
I have
it
always had
convey youth and fun?
maybe. For me, it's the fact that my older nephew thought of me when he saw it and got it. So,
Oh,
for me,
that's
it has
nice.
yeah, it has happy nephew associations with it as opposed to
I mean,
anything.
I saw there was a lot of writing, so I wonder if it was just trying to ease the contrast between the black text and the white background, maybe?
I would have just gone with white background or yeah, yeah, but
Uh,
that's me. Um,
That's you.
my younger nephew actually really loves the color yellow.
Oh,
It's his
th-
favorite color. And
something worked there, didn't it?
it's one of my mom's favorite colors,
Attention grabbing.
and it's also associated with Gemini.
Oh, really? Do the signs have colors?
Yes.
What's
So,
Aquarius?
Aquarius
I'm so ego driven, I've got to know.
so Aquarius and Capricorn are both ruled by Saturn. So the colors associated with the signs are often related to their traditional ruling
Planet.
planet. So
Yeah.
black and dark, like navy blue, dark blues are the colors associated with both Capricorn and Aquarius.
How
I
interesting. Black is our
often
next color.
I often associate blues with Aquarians a bit more and blacks with
Yeah, I
Capricorns a
thought
bit
I
more.
would have
That's just me.
guessed blue for some reason, but black. Power, sophistication, elegant, luxury, formality, mystery. Negative. Death, evil, mourning, fear, sadness, oppression, aggression. Behavioral effects. Conveys luxury, premium quality in branding. In sports, it's associated with aggression, All Blacks.
Mm.
It used to be a very good team. Um, can make spaces feel smaller and enhances adjacent colors, like the wingman.
Mhm. 'Cause it gives it space to stand out. Because it absorbs all the rest of the colors.
White. This is the last one. This is your purity, cleanliness, simplicity, peace, modernity, safety. Negative. Sterility, coldness, emptiness, isolation, and mourning. It's true. Many Asian countries, it's mourning.
Many
Behavioral
places
effects.
I would say many places where it's hot as well. So, like, in Puerto Rico, a lot of people will wear white for mourning just 'cause it's
Really?
hot. Black absorbs the color, absorbs the heat.
Um, okay, this is the last thing. Behavioral effects of white creates a sense of space, foundation of minimalist design, conveys simplicity and tech for branding, can cause glare and eye strain.
Yeah, well, to your point about, like, why a poster might not have a background that is all white.
Yeah, I would think that. And maybe they were trying to make it look like those kind of more sepia, tea stainy look, maybe.
Very well could be. So, white is often associated with Virgo. It's, um the Virgo and Gemini also get pale green because 'cause they're ruled by Mercury. So Mercury kinda gets those colors. Um, Aries and Scorpio get the red and black. They get black as well, but I I always think of it as like Capricorn gets the blue black and Scorpio gets the brown or red black when you start getting depth of color. Um, the Cancers, because 'cause they're ruled by the moon, also have a white, but it's like a silvery kind of,
Mhm.
and they often have like it's a blue, but I think of it as kind of like a blue-gray, like a kind of washed out, like what it would look like under moonlight, because the moon is
Oh,
their
yeah.
like sign.
Mhm.
Um, Leos get all of those yellow to orange kind of colors. They are, and more the vibrant orange because, um, they're ruled by the sun, so the colors associated with the sun. Um, Libra and Taurus get pinks, and I would say, like, those salmon pink color and the orangey kind of pinks fall in there. I'm not saying there aren't other colors that these get. I'm trying to say so I did Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Okay, don't think I've left anyone out. I think I've hit all the signs now. And there can be broader associations with these colors, but those just give you some of the basics. A lot of times, like when they're like, "Oh, what color should you wrap the gift?" Sometimes I'll ask somebody, "Okay, well, what's their sign? What's their sun sign?" If you really want to get into it, you might look at what is their ascendant if you know it, or what is their moon sign. Because again, just like anything, there's more to an individual than just their sun sign. So what colors may come into play for them may go beyond their, sun.
So I just realized we forgot to contextualize this entire episode because
Okay.
the whole point was the reason we chose colors was
Right.
because this week, a couple days ago, was Holi,
Mhm.
the Indian holiday, where I'm going to admit, I don't know what the holiday is, but I know they throw color at each other. So it's very festive,
Festive
celebratory. I
and
don't know what's
joyful.
happening, but yeah, it seems very happy. And so we thought, oh, let's do color as a kind of homage to a
Yes.
holiday that I don't know what they're celebrating, but it
Well,
looks pretty fun.
it's Holi is a Hindu spring festival, often called the Festival of Colors, that celebrates the arrival of spring, love,
Oh,
and the
okay.
victory of good over evil. It marks the start of spring and symbolizes new beginnings, hope, and the end of winter. And
That's why they're
spiritually,
so happy.
yes. I mean, I think most spring festivals have it, and I think they might happen at different times of year depending on how far from the equator you are. So, like, I think of the May Day kind of thing with there's normally colorful ribbons and things like that that happen. It's a spring festival. Spiritually, it recalls stories such as Prah Prahlad and Holika, emphasizing devotion, the triumph of good over evil, and letting go of negativity, which feels very much needed.
That is a very nice holiday.
And when it happens is actually based on the Hindu lunar calendar and falls on the full moon day, Purnima, in the month of, F- I don't know if, I think it's Palguna, but it's PH. So I'm not sure if they meant it to be an F, between late February and mid March. And in 2026, it was on March 4th. The exact date changes every year. And oh, I should say, actually, communities observed it on the 3rd and the 4th this year, depending on local tradition and lunar timing,
Mm.
depending on exactly where the moon was, depending on your
Oh,
locality.
right,
So it
right,
wasn't
right.
just the
Makes
4th, it was
sense.
the 3rd or the 4th, which was why when I was talking about the lunar eclipse on the 3rd, I had
Mhm,
heard of Holi taking place on the same day because in some localities it did, um,
mhm.
but not everywhere. So,
Got it, got it.
yeah. I have more information. I'm reading about it. I definitely have friends who celebrate it. I have never gotten the chance to partake, but it
No, me
always looks
neither.
like a lot of fun.
So do you know why they're throwing colors?
I
Like,
think it's
where is that coming from?
I don't know.
Mm.
I'm gonna see if I can look it up. I know people dress in white, so you get the colors on you.
Oh, okay.
They throw colors to express joy, welcome spring, and symbolize equality and togetherness. Because I guess there's no like you can hit anybody with it.
Yes,
No
I
difference.
think yes, yes.
The
Huh.
bright powders represent the many colors of spring, new beginnings, and the victory of good. Okay, got that in. Everyone is covered in colors. You cannot easily tell who is rich or poor,
Like
young
an
or old,
equalizer. Yeah. Okay.
higher or lower status, which makes it a playful way to break down social barriers and feel equal for a day.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, there's a popular story says the blue-skinned god Krishna, worried that his
Mhm.
beloved Radha was much fairer than he was, and his mother told him to color her face any color he liked.
God,
Krishna
men.
playfully
What the
smeared
frick?
color on Radha, and this
Evil.
loving prank is remembered when people throw colors on each other, celebrating love, friendship,
Oh,
acceptance of all shades.
cute.
So, if somebody else knows something more, Katie and I love learning. If you have another experience of this, please share. Again, I just read, like, looked it up, saw what they said, and read. So this is not coming from our personal knowledge or experience. It's
No,
what the
I think
interwebs.
it looks quite fun though.
It does. It does, and there's celebrations that are held all over. I know, um, there is a large temple in Queens that has a celebration every year,
Mm. Mhm, mhm.
but I've never been. I've heard about it. I know people who've been. I just have never been. So, um, the other thing I was thinking about is just in the therapeutic sense, when people have an idea of what a color means, so sometimes people have one of those and sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talk to them about it. I've actually used it in working with, um, I never know whether to call people clients or patients or just people I've worked with. Um, that let's say they're looking at being able to speak up or speak their truth or they need to do a speech or something. A lot of times I will tell them, surround yourself with some sky blue, some turquoise. Let your
Hmm.
voice be heard, kind of thing. Or if somebody's really struggling, like they're really down on themselves. So often in the United States, we associate the color green with money, but there's a
Yes.
particular kind of, it's actually kind of a muddy green. I will tell people, find your favorite color of green
Hmm.
and, wear that, you know, eh, use that color and use it as a reminder to appreciate yourself.
Mm.
I think what's a little bit harder is if somebody's struggling with energy and stuff to be like, "Get some red," because that one can be a little harder for folks, though it's not bad. Um, but I found, more often the blue and the green are things that I've definitely talked to people about, and
Mhm.
then the colors for thought, whether it's indigo or purple, um, or lavender, like, just different colors of being able to think through things and,
So
see.
are you so when you give that advice, are you asking them to imagine the color
I
in their
actually
head or wear the color?
I actually often tell them both. So, like, if you don't have the color, imagine it. But if you can get your hands on whether maybe it's just a scarf,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe or anything like that, or maybe it's a bracelet or something, but
Yeah.
a lot of times I will tell people to wear it because it's an easy reminder when you visually see it.
Now, when you just said that, to wear it like this, I
Mhm,
was just thinking gemstones because those are color and you can wear it and they must if you follow this chromotherapy tradition, I would imagine gems and crystals that, rocks that you can wear as jewelry would have had
mhm.
healing properties, I
They totally
imagine.
do. In Ayurveda, they actually will give a prescription for a particular gemstone to wear and on which finger you should wear it.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now that you say, because I was in Istanbul last year for a few weeks and I went to this jewelry store that I ended up going once a week. I'm embarrassed, but not really.
Why?
And because it's hard for me to buy jewelry because I'm usually not interested in purchasing. But this shop was run by an Indian lady and she designed her own jewelry, really fantastic place. And I bought a few things from there. And she was explaining what the moonstone is good for. Oh, brother, I can't even remember what it was. Something. And I remember saying, "Oh, I need that." So, yeah, there's something meaningful about each of the items. So,
Well, it's like,
um,
um
can't remember what it was moonstone was for, but it's like a whitish stone.
mhm.
Yeah.
Moonstone is widely associated with emotional balance, intuition,
Oh,
feminine
maybe
energy,
that's what I
yes,
needed.
brilliant. And many people also use it for hormonal and digestive support.
Hormonal. That's what it was. She was like, "Oh, it's good for your hormones, women's hormones." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sister.
Yes. Well, like,
That's for me."
quartz, both like rose quartz
Mm.
and white quartz are often, um, used for sort of like focusing the mind kind of thing. Um, Hematite is often used for, like, protection, like,
Is
you
that
can
the
feel
one that looks
protected.
like a mirror?
Almost,
Like a
it's kind of like
shiny
a
black?
shiny black gray kinda
Yeah,
color.
it's like a
Yeah.
weird it freaks me out. I feel like I'm looking at a outfits from outer space. I
Yeah.
don't I don't really enjoy hematite.
It's actually I actually really like it, but it's
I'm
for
sure,
protection.
yeah, yeah.
I, yeah, so each of them have, like, different elements that,
Here's one. It's my favorite stone, gemstone, and I've always, 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 always loved it, and I have really nothing with it. And actually, for years, because I'm so picky in how it will look, and so I don't own it. And I think I've owned some stuff in the past and I've gotten rid of it, blah 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 blah. But I finally at this Istanbul place, jewelry shop, I finally bought a bracelet. It has a few things on it, but one of them it has that stone that I love. And I don't know why I love it, but it's lapis. I'm obsessed with lapis lazuli. Um, but I just don't own much of it because I don't. I'm so picky on how I want it on me that I can't find anything I like. I don't know why. It's lapis. It's very strange.
Well, if you think about it, that's one of the colors for a
My
Saturn ruled
Aquarius.
person. And lapis lazuli is often used as a stone of truth, wisdom, clear communication, and spiritual insight in crystal and metaphysical traditions.
So maybe I have not been able to find something because I have not achieved any of those things. So maybe when I've achieved it, I will have a lapis.
I think that you are doing a Saturnian way too hard on yourself, because uh, I want you to think of lapis lazuli as supporting your efforts in those directions. It's not necessarily signaling that you have it, because when you have it, you don't need the lapis lazuli.
Just by chance, everybody, I have the bracelet right here. And voila, that's the lapis. See the tiny little bit of lapis on there? And I that's as much as I've managed to own my whole to now. It has other stuff on it. I don't know. And I don't care what the other stuff is. But I only care about my lapis.
So now we know what to get Katie. We
I'm
will get
obsessed
Katie
with it.
the lapis. So you love lapis. I love greenstones. Some of that could be
Yes.
born
You
in
like
May.
emerald. Emerald.
Love emerald.
Yeah.
Uh, my
Uh-huh.
man produced emerald. But the one in the stone kind of family outside of like gems is that I often gravitate towards is malachite, which
Yes.
is commonly used as a stone of protection. Told you I like hematite
Oh, there you
protection.
go.
Transformation and heart-centered healing.
Oh, I didn't know it did all of that.
Mhm. And I just thought that was so apropos because 4th chakra, 4th level of the field, the connection is through like the heart chakra. And at the very start of my journey, the easiest place for me to get to was the 4th chakra. Still to this day, it's the easiest. So the
What's the
4th level,
hardest?
4th chakra.
What's the
The
hardest?
hardest, I don't know that any of them was really hard, but I would say the 5th is probably takes the most concentration. And I said I would come back to the 5th. So the 5th chakra, in terms of what it looks like, it's supposed to be like one of the ways it gets described is like the blue lines of the first. So your entire body, all of your chakras, everything made of blue lines. The
Like
5th
a blueprint?
is like the blueprint, but the 5th chakra is the space in which those lines fit. So I always
Oh,
found
like
that
a
really quite,
cutout of the blueprint.
yeah.
That's weird. That's
But the
weird.
way that
That's like Matrix weird.
well, that's the whole thing. The way that I see it is actually, do you remember the Terminator movie where the Terminator is kind of like liquid and you see like his outline in
Yes.
form? That
Yes.
is the way that I experience the 5th chakra, where I can see it all as in these liquid kind of outlines of where something is supposed to be. Um, and I had to learn to expand it outwards as
Mm.
opposed to try like with a lot of the other levels, it feels a little bit like not quite like an elevator, but it feels a little bit like you're going up and down. The 5th is not like a go up and down. It's like you get there and you have to expand out. Because the 5th chakra, as an energy healer, you're oftentimes using it to do what they call spiritual surgery. And it's not so much you do it as you pull
Mm.
the energy so that those who guide and help the individual can have the kind of the channel to come in and help the person. And it, it can feel like surgery to people. Like, big time. So, a lot of times when that's happened, I'm like, especially, like, get up slow, drink your water, and
Yeah.
rest. Because a lot of times people will feel really good, but then they can
Mm.
crash. So a lot of times people are like,
Mm.
"Why are you so, like, weird about this?" I'm like, "Please." I just watched a lot of stuff go down. Or actually, that's the other reason I think of the 5th is that I don't actually watch it. In the 4th, I can watch a lot more. In the 5th, it's like it's kind of when you're watching, like, water do you can't see it.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it's more like you know it or you feel it than
Mhm.
that you're watching it happen. So, that's why for me, the 5th has often been the most
What's the significance of the 5th again?
it's it's the matrix level. It's the level of the plan that you had for this life.
Ah.
It's
Oh,
the
okay.
matrix of
Okay.
your body. Um, and when people talk about a glitch in the matrix,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's like the 5th level. A and one of the things like, we actually had an instructor who had a a donated kidney, and so he had walked us through, like, one of the things that made it easier to incorporate was having somebody actually do that spiritual surgery, so that because on the matrix level, you never lose parts of yourself. Like, they may not be in your body anymore, but they're still
Mm.
matrix-wise, was incorporating this new kidney within the matrix of his
Yeah.
system. Made it easier for him to, like his body not to reject it. He also talked about an interesting thing phenomenon of people who've received organ donations. He had not been somebody, for example, who liked spicy food, and after he received the donated kidney, all of a sudden he liked spicy food.
Really?
Never really liked it.
Weird.
Yep.
That's like a movie plot, isn't it?
Well,
Weird.
I just saw something where it was a plot in, like, a TV show. It was this
Mm.
guy yeah, it was a plot in a TV show. This guy was having dreams. He'd received, it was on Elspeth of all things. He'd received a donor
Oh, yeah.
heart from somebody who they didn't know, but had been murdered, and so he was having dreams of the murder, but the police are like, that's not proof. We have no proof," kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But it sparked Elspeth enough to go looking for proof.
So your teacher who had that organ, the
Mhm.
kidney, so does that kidney that was put in him still retain the matrix from the other person?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's still connected.
that's that's weird.
So, actually, part of what you're doing is kinda creating a bridge between those
Yes,
matrices.
connecting.
Mhm. Connecting the 2. Yeah.
Weird.
But sometimes you might find that the plan was for that to happen.
Uh, it was already in the matrix,
Mhm,
the transplant.
mhm.
Yeah, okay.
It's kinda like
I
what came
can
first, the
follow
chicken or
that.
the egg?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, like, sometimes, especially when it's a very easy as something like that can be, because I know it's major surgery, it's
Mm, mm,
like, there's a lot of stuff involved, but sometimes
mm,
have that really as easy as something like that transition is the you would say the soul agreement happened prior to the life.
mm.
Something that I would want us to talk about at some point, I might have you check out the book first though, is it's called The Education of Oversoul 7, and it's literally formed part of the foundation of the way I look at whether you call them core stars or souls or and this concept of the all, which some people might
Mhm,
refer to as God or the
mhm,
goddesses or all the gods, is this concept that, okay, we have us, our individual self manifested in this life that rolls up into a broader one that connects to all of the lives that we've experienced, that rolls up again, where it connects to the other ones and rolls up until it's the all. Because
mm,
we make up the all. We make up it's in fact, when I listen to what people su such as Jesus or the Buddha were said to have said, a lot of times they're talking about God or the universe, whatever is within you. And I so often feel like that's been misinterpreted because I think it
mm.
literally is within us. because we are a part of what makes up that. It's why
So
with oh,
oh,
go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just the last part I was gonna say is just it's why sometimes I find it so hard on my being when there are these horrible, awful things going on in the world. Because
Oh, yeah, you've gotta distance yourself from that.
yes, yes, and I do manage,
Absolutely not.
but we are part of the all, so we are impacted by these things.
Yes, for sure, but shields up, my god.
That's when you
You'll
take
just
the
be
golden thread like
destroyed.
lines of light and you make them a bit tighter.
So just before you summarize, and on that all thing, I saw this last year, there was an Instagram post, but it was a clip from a show called The White Lotus. Is that the hotel show? Never seen the show, but there was a clip from it, and it was a man asking this Buddhist monk, what happens when we die? And the monk laughs. He's like, happy monk. And he's like, you just go back. You go back. And the guy was like, what? What? And the monk, he was a lot more eloquent than I am, but he said, we are one drop. So when we're born, we are a drop from
The all.
the big sea or whatever. We're a
Mhm.
drop. And then we live our lives. And when we die, we go back up into it. And the way he said it was so simple and so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, duh. But I had never even like it's not I don't think about it. But it was just a clip.
But it resonated. It resonated
Yeah,
for you.
it resonated. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not something I like think about and wonder but something the way the monk said it, and yeah, I know it's a TV show, but it
I already
was
talked about TV
kind of
shows where I get my the guides talk to me. So,
that's right. It was kind of profound. I thought it was profound. Um, I still have not seen the show, but it was great.
haven't seen the
Yeah.
show, but it does make me think of my so I will recap after this. Makes me think of my favorite I think of it as kind of a joke from energy healing school where they were describing, when you're in that all kind of space and you're planning out as best you can the life that you're coming into. And it's more about like, hey, I want to learn this and I want to experience this and I want to learn this. And it's like this thing that you put together. And then as you're going down it looks kind of like a tube, but it's connecting you to the body you're building to be born. The guides are yelling at you, but you're not going to remember any of this. There's a few people who do remember, but it always
Mm,
cracks me up. That whole like, I want to do this and this and this and this, and I want to have this, and I want this and this and this. Like you're planning out a life to be experienced. Cause I talk about it as like you've put on the meat suit in order to slow things down so you can experience things and learn from them. And it's like, but you're not going to remember that this was all part of your request.
mm, mhm.
So, okay,
Okay.
let's recap
Yes.
color. It is impacts all of our lives. It surrounds us. It's part of every day. And it has been found to have real impact on how we react to things, how we think about things. But then there's also the aspects that are just ways that maybe our society has come to look at certain colors and agree. And it makes me think of the fact that the color pink, when it was originally sort of put out there and marketed, it was marketed as a boy's color. Just FYI.
Really?
Mhm. When pink was first out there, it was a boy's color because it came from red. So it was a boy's color. Blue was the girl's color.
The
The
calming.
calming. So if you think about the yin and the yang, red, yang, blue, yin. And so
That is interesting.
right?
Mm,
So we've just gone on a wild ride of discussing different ways.
And we're still going. We can't even
We're still
stop.
going. The ways that color can come into play, the ways that you might incorporate it into your life. Um, and like we've said before, we just bring up topics that we think we'll find interesting. We learned a bit about Holi today that we both heard about it before, but we didn't necessarily know. I knew that it was a spring festival, but I didn't necessarily know the
Mm.
significance of it, kind of thing. And that's what we do is a lot of times we come up with an idea or a topic and we're like, "Oh, wanna explore this. I wonder what's something more we can learn about this?" Or how might we share some of what we do know with all of you? So thank you very much for joining us. If you've made it this long, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time at KTVG Studio.
Thank you. See ya.